everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am so sorry that I had to take a little break from YouTube. I have been sick beyond belief. I have been in the hospital for the past 3 days last week, but I am getting better and ready to get back to the groove of things, finish the semester out strong, and get some videos up for you guys. So today I'm going to be talking about how I chose to go to USF for my undergraduate career. Now, before I get started, this is kind of a disclaimer that you will see I'm very indecisive, but I do pray to the Lord for guidance and wisdom when it comes to making difficult decisions, such as choosing which college to go to. I also want you guys to know that I chose my college based on financial reasons, but that does not mean that you have to choose the college that you want to go to based on your reasons. I would honestly say talk to your advisors in high school, call into whatever religious higher being that you believe in, and make your decision that way, and make a decision that will make you happy and that will benefit you for your future. And so I'm gonna get started. Starting off in my childhood years, I knew I wanted to go to college. I always knew I wanted to be a pediatrician. I have never changed my career choice, not once in my life. It's always been, I want to be a pediatrician, I want to be a pediatrician. And so my parents worked so hard for me and they sacrificed so much for me, and not going to college was not an option, not only for myself but for my parents. And if you live with island parents, then you know that they take education very seriously. Like, they do not play at all. So I went to Blanchard High School, which is predominantly black high school in Pompano Beach, Florida. I am a proud alumni. Academics are great, extracurricular activities were great, everything about that school was great, and it really prepared me for my life ahead in college. Ooh, excuse me, I just burped. That's so gross. So my freshman year in high school, I wanted to go to New York University. You're gonna be like, what the hell? I was kind of like, what the hell too. But that was because New York is my favorite city in the world. That's eventually where I want to move. And my uncle lives up in New York, and so he was often flying me and my sister back and forth to New York to spend vacation time with him. And so I just love the idea of living in the city. The fact that I could be out of state but still be surrounded by family members in case something went wrong, that was great. And I was just like, why not, you know? Do something new, be brave, go out, do your thing in the world. Sophomore year rolled around, did a complete 180. I decided that I wanted to go to Florida State University. Like, I looked at their application deadline, I looked at their housing, I was set to go to FSU. But I think the only reason why I wanted to go to FSU was because my best friend Rachel wanted to go to FSU, and I knew a whole bunch of other people in my high school class that wanted to go to FSU. And the thought of going to a college where I knew a lot of other people sounded so good to me, because it would make my transition from high school to college a lot easier if I knew a whole bunch of people there. So that's the reason why I wanted to go to FSU. I love FSU. I think it's a great campus. I think it's a great school. So yeah, I was like, why not? Why not? Junior year rolled around, did a complete 180 again. I wanted to go to the University of Miami. I was a die-hard Canes fan. I was throwing up the sign. I had fuzzy socks. I had running shorts. I had t-shirts. I had hats, posters, utensils, the license tag frame. I had everything for UM. And I was just like, this is going to be the college that I'm going to. It was not too far in Miami, and it's a private school. And if you get to know me, you will know, like, I actually really hate like big class sizes, because I like those one-on-one interpersonal connections with my professors. So I was like, oh, it's great, it's perfect. Between the summer of my junior year and my senior year of high school, me and Rachel decided that we were going to do a college tour, and we were going to tour USF and FSU. We decided not to tour UCF because even though we would apply, it wasn't really like one of our top schools. It was kind of like, we categorized it as a safety school, so we were like, look, we're not going to tour that. Plus, that school's huge anyway. So we toured USF, and it was my first time going to USF. It was my first time actually hearing about USF. And I got to the school and I loved it. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. My tour guide was amazing. He was so funny, but he was so informative about the school, and I was just like, this is great. I love their on-campus housing. It was fabulous. I actually toured the residence hall that I'm living now, so that's pretty cool. I just loved the school. It was just like, it was beautiful, it was different, it was lively. People seemed not afraid to be themselves, and that's one of the things I really like about USF. And so I was like, this is great. Like, I'm gonna apply, like, this is gonna be good. We went to FSU. Don't get me wrong, do not get me wrong, I know I'm gonna get a lot of haters. I love FSU. Their campus is beautiful, but my tour guide really did not do justice for the university. We got to the school I saw the stadium. I remember seeing the stadium. I remember going in their bookstore. I remember like wanting to buy a hat because I was like, I'm gonna go to FSU. Da da da. We took the tour, and my tour guide focused so much on the athletics part of the school, which I understand is a big like priority at FSU. But the fact that she emphasized so much of it on it and not a lot on academics, it threw me and my family off because I wasn't there to like play football, do soccer, or any of that. I was there to get my education. And so the fact that she didn't really emphasize as much as the academics part as she did the athletics part, it kind of turned me off from the school, and I was like, I'm still gonna apply. I still love the school, don't get me wrong, but it was just kind of like loved it less, I guess I could say. So my senior year rolled around, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I was so confused about what I wanted to do. I'm so indecisive. I'm that girl who goes to Forever 21 and I don't come out for 2 hours because I need to make sure I walk the store like 5 different times and then walk it again another 5 different times, and then I put back stuff, pick up stuff. I'm that girl. And so when it came to applying for colleges, I was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing and stuff like that. My brace advisor, and a brace advisor in the Broward County public school system, is someone who is there to help you with your college readiness kind of stuff. So ACTs, SATs, your college application scholarships and stuff like that. She was an alumni of USF, and she was going on and on about the school, and I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to apply to USF. I knew I was going to apply to UCF because that was going to be my safety school in case I got rejected from every single other university. I knew I was going to apply to FSU, and I knew I was going to apply to UM. So those applications I did first. With God's amazing grace, I got into all 4 schools. Beautiful. I applied to these 4 schools, and that just seemed suffice? Is it suffice or suffice? It seemed suffice. And my parents really wanted me to stay in Florida. Had a teacher named Miss Knowles. Hey Miss Knowles, if you're watching this, I love you and I miss you. She is an alumni of Spelman College, and she really helped me to see the importance of HBCUs, which are historically black colleges and universities. And I was just like, oh God, I'm so confused again. So I did another 180, and I applied to Spelman College, I applied to Howard University, got into both with the idea of going to a college where I was surrounded by other individuals who had the same color as me, but who wanted to make a difference in the world and succeed as much as I wanted to, was mind-blowing. And that was the reason why I wanted to go to HBCUs. HBCUs were there when the other colleges weren't taking black people. HBCUs are just so important to me. I know not everyone might agree as long as you get an education, but I really see the value of them. So I was like, I want to go to an HBCU. So I thought about it, and I was like, I want to be a Spelman girl. I want to be a Spelman woman. I want to be a Spelmanite. And I was excited. I was telling everyone, and I was just happy, and Miss Knowles was so happy that I made that decision. And who is texting me? Boy, bye. Oh my. Miss Knowles was so proud of me that I made that decision. And then I decided that I wanted to tell my parents that I wanted to go to Spelman College, and they were not for it. They were like, no. They just had heard stories about the neighborhood that Spelman was. My mom did not want me so far away. She thought I was trying to like leave her, and she like started crying. I was just like, you're overreacting. Oh my God. So they did not take it very well, and it kind of put me back to the drawing board because I love my parents. Everything I do is for my parents. And I know that I have to be an individual on my own, but at the same time, I wouldn't want my parents to be as happy as I was when I moved to college. Not a lot of people might relate, but when your parents are such a big factor in your life, that was kind of important for me. Going back to the drawing board, and I was just like, I'm confused, I don't know what to do. Started praying. I was like, Lord, I'm confused. It's about to be March. I don't know where I'm going. Help me, Jesus. Then financial aid letters started to roll around, and I was like, okay, you know what, Samari? This is it. You want to go to med school. You want to go to a prestigious med school. You're going to have to take out loans for med school. Why take out loans for undergrad? So in my mind, I was thinking this. You know what? I'm going to go to undergrad for free, and then I'm going to go to whatever med school I want and take out whatever loans necessary to go to that med school, and that's how I was going to do it. So basically, it all came down to cost. And going through back, UCF, they gave me a scholarship, but I really wasn't interested in going to UCF anyway, so it was kind of like, but when I opened my financial aid letter from Spelman, I got straight loans. It was literally $44,000 a year in loans, and I was like, I cannot do $44,000 a year for undergrad and then another $44,000 a year for med school. I couldn't do it, and I cried so hard because like I really wanted to be at that college, but I couldn't do the loan, so that went out the window. Howard, I was eligible for scholarships, but because I retook my ACT at the end of my senior year to be qualified for Bright Futures, which is kind of a mistake, so I should have done it earlier on, but whatever. And so I was ineligible at the time when they were doing Howard scholarships, so I didn't get a scholarship from Howard. And so it came down to UM, USF, and FSU. The partnership that Blanche Ely has with UM is great. I graduated ranked number 4 in my class, and I'm not trying to brag at all. A lot of hard work went into that. And if you were in top 5 at my high school, you were automatically eligible for $25,000 a year at UM. And so that was great. I was just like, you know what? UM is gonna be it. And then I got the rest of my financial aid letter, and I kept getting scholarships, I kept getting grants from them, they loved me, they were sending me money, stuff like that. So UM cost $60,000 a year if you're living on campus, and I didn't have a car at that time, so commuting was out of the question. They only gave me $55,000 in scholarships and grants. I didn't get any loans from them, so I still had a whole nother $10,000 maybe to cover, and I didn't have $10,000 lying around, so I was like, I can't afford UM. Bye. So that left me with USF and FSU. So I want to say that I also qualify for Bright Futures. I get the medallion one, the one that pays for 50%, and then I also receive a lot of scholarships, outside scholarships from different organizations within the South Florida area. So I was also factoring that into my financial aid kind of thing when choosing my college. So it really came down to FSU and USF, and looking at the outside scholarships, looking at Bright Future, I had to look at what FAFSA was giving me, and then it came down to what the school was giving me. Ultimately, USF gave me 2 additional scholarships plus 2 additional grants that FSU, and then it came down to it. I had a full ride. In fact, I'm being paid here to be at USF, honestly. And that's how I chose USF. And when it came down to it, I really was like, this is all part of God's plan, because everything happens for a reason. I'm getting a full ride to do my Bachelor's of Science degree, my 2 Bachelor's of Science degree, because I am a dual degree. And it's 4 hours away from home, which was perfect, because when I got sick last week, my mom drove up and she was like, I'm coming to get you, da da da. And then it's a beautiful school. USF's program for biomedical sciences is one of the best in the state. Like, holy crap, I can't even begin to go into it. Like, so many people here are biomedical sciences just because their program is that good. So all of these factors added up, and it was just like I was meant to be here, and I was just like, everything happens for a reason. I felt like I wanted to be at Spelman. God didn't want me to be at Spelman, and I am following God's plans. Whatever He wants for me, I want for myself as well. And so that's how it came down to it. That's how I ended up at USF. I'm a second year. I'm graduating next year, involved in all these clubs and organizations, and I'm just like, it was meant to be. So that is today's video. I'm so glad you guys stuck around to the end to hear. If you have any questions in regards to like the application requirements for different schools and stuff like that, if you're a rising senior in high school and you have questions about application requirements, process, essays, SAT scores, ACT scores, please do leave them in the comments below. I read all the comments. I'll reply to all of them. So not a lot of people know this, but I have a summer internship at the medical school at Columbia University in New York. It's a 6-week residential program, and a lot of people have been asking me, how'd you get that internship? That sounds so cool. So if you're interested in seeing like an informational video about the application process, what I did to make sure my application stood out, let me know. Yeah, and if you guys have any other video requests, leave them down below. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Please guys, it really means a lot to me. And yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!